Welcome back, Brotato.
Okay. Good things are gonna happen in a few seconds. We're gonna be streaming today Forza Horizon 4. So Forza game, a racing game. Last thing I wanna do right now is just start up some background music and then we'll get right into it. Yeah, let's just get this playlist. Oh no, that is wrong. That will just randomize something else. Okay, good. So we are in Forza. So this is a racing game by Microsoft. This is the fourth entry of the Horizon sub-series. So this one is set in partially in Scotland and in the United Kingdom in general. So it's gonna be somewhere in between a real comfy, just no brain switched off kind of stream where I can just not really focus on anything and just let the game run its course, cause I kind of wanna play in that kind of playground today, and I have played this game for a long time. I've just had quite a break from it recently. I haven't played it in a while, but I've played it for a long time before that, so I know how to play this game. I just gotta get a little bit back on track and get used to everything, to the physics and all that. So we're just driving around the map for a bit. Due to network problems, unable to connect to game server at this time. That's interesting. I will try to join online again, but there is no problem with playing solo offline. To be honest, depending on your network quality, this game can be better offline, since then you don't have any networking issues, because sometimes these things can really happen where you get rubber banding and that kind of stuff, and then you suddenly warp through time with different speeds, and then it's really difficult to focus on what you are driving. So playing offline isn't that bad either. Oops. Alright, let's get to a racetrack around here. Let's see. Since I've played this for a long time, I have also created many racetracks around the whole map. I played a lot of times with my brother and my cousin, and we were playing self-made maps and stuff like that. So for now, let's just get right into it, I would suggest. We're just gonna play solo and play my custom events. Alright, let's play Christmas movie. So we can choose from any of these movie cars for this event. Let's start with this one. I think this is a car that I can reasonably drive. So not something especially fast for the start. Alright, let's see who's driving. Not in the sense of which people, but what kind of cars we're dealing with. So, from these cars I drive the second best by score. This score can be a little bit misleading though, because some things influence the score more than other things. It is a pretty good simulation of driving generally, with how the parts of the car are simulated. So sometimes a different engine will catapult you to a higher score, even though it doesn't really perform better. Sometimes, yeah, but these scores are good for estimating in which kind of ballpark you are. So these are all very similar cars, so we can expect to have a moderate challenge. I have no memory of the maps of the racetracks that I made, to be honest. Okay, this car has a slow turn radius. Alright, I really gotta brake hard before these. Oh, and because it's of course, it's the Christmas movie event, so it is in winter. These things are also simulated quite well. It is much harder to drive well in winter than it is in summer or spring or fall. Alright, got one of them. And you see that these, especially the self-made tracks, but also the ones that Forza has made themselves, they are not really bound to the roads. You can go off-road for the track, and especially in the Highlands of Scotland there are some really interesting areas for going off-road, where you have some nice bumps that you have to jump across and that kind of stuff. Right. It's really hard to take turns with this. You have to brake a lot, and we're not even going that fast. Wow, I just about got the checkpoint. Okay. God damn it. I've already broke so hard for that turn, but it just wouldn't be enough. Oh no! God damn it, that's a bad corner. I lost so much now. That's a sharp right turn, I guess. No, that is bad. So, a thing about Forza as a game is that it has a rewind function for specifically when things go horribly wrong. You don't wanna spam and abuse it, because then it's kind of boring, but you wanna make use of it if you, for example, would accidentally drive off a cliff. Which I almost did there, so that's why I rewound. And yeah, so that's just a basic feature of the game. Yeah. It is very, very useful for those particular circumstances. Right, we're almost done with the first lap. So I'll also quickly explain these arrows on the ground. Obviously they are the racetrack, but they are not just the racetrack, they also indicate how much of a, well, okay, let me rewind a little bit more there. They also indicate that you have too much of speed for certain curves or not. So for example, if the line goes red, that usually means I should brake in order to take the next curve. That is why I had to rewind a lot just now, because I completely underestimated that turn. It's not always as serious as the line suggests, but it's a good indicator for when to pay more attention. Yeah, I should have broken more for that part, for example. Sometimes though it's already enough to just step off the gas pedal. I am, by the way, playing this with a controller, because I find racing games like these play pretty well with a controller, because the analog stick makes it easy to only take turns very subtly if you want. Wow, that was mean. That guy bumped me there a little bit too roughly. Yeah, so for example, for such sharp corners it makes sense to just basically make a full hard brake. And yeah. So the racetrack is basically defined by these checkpoints. The checkpoints are the obligatory spots that you have to hit. Technically, other than that, you are mostly free to take whichever path you desire. So I could take massive detours if I wanted to. And it depends on the map maker whether the routes that the arrows indicate are really the shortest path or the best path or drivable or difficult. Yeah. Okay. Nah, that is rewind worthy. Okay, now brake a little bit more and then take a better turn. There we go. Of course, if you have a higher level of expertise, you can play without rewinds. If you're good, then you will be able to do that. I am okay at the game, but sometimes I just completely forget about braking in time, so I make use of rewinds quite a lot. Oh god, this guy is fast. Right, that was an okay turn, for example. And we're almost done with the lap. Alright, then we just overtook him last minute. That is brilliant. Love to see it. Okay. First race, first place. Now we're just gonna be playing individual custom events mostly today, and it's not gonna be a massively long stream either. But there's something really cool that you can do in Forza, which is in Forza Horizon 4. They did remove this feature in the later game. You can do private adventures, and those are really nice. You can get together with a bunch of friends and play an adventure together. So what is an adventure? An adventure is a combination of races, but then you have free roam rushes in between the races. So these races are stationed at specific points, and to get from one race to the other race you have to basically travel the open world on your own without any guidance, which is the correct path, except you do have a GPS, but there is no fixed racetrack that you have to follow. You just have to get to point B in the fastest. And those can get really wide because often it is efficient to just barrel through the rough green terrain off-road, and that gets really wild because you travel at speeds of like 300 km/h, and yeah, with that kind of speed you have to dodge trees, potentially cross rivers or something like that, or if you maybe chose a car that isn't so good on the off-road, then what you have to do is probably figure out the best roads to get there. So then it can be a really cool kind of race where maybe the shortest direct line through the off-roads will win, or maybe if you take a detour on the asphalt you can get there faster. Yeah, it's very strategic, and that makes private adventures so very special, and I have a lot of fun with them. Except they did remove that feature from the game for the later games. So like in Forza Horizon 5 you don't have that anymore, which is why I never really got into Forza Horizon 5 I mean, and kept playing basically for the entire time. And so this is one of my favorite cars to drive in this game. It is really good at taking turns without slowing down. So we can go, it doesn't maybe have the best performance per se, but it is really forgiving in terms of not braking much before the curve. So you can get away with quite some sick maneuvers with this car. So yeah, I just overtook that guy in a curve, for example. Oh yeah, that is a hairpin turn. Let me through! No! Come on, okay, that is rewind worthy again. So okay, I have learned that I will not be able to make this on the left side of the track. We're gonna have to go on the right side here. God damn it, those guys are just bumping me around too much. That makes driving difficult if you are getting pushed around all the time. So, right. The game does get a little bit confused if you place checkpoints on a map so closely together, so that's why you saw the guy in front get 5th place out of nowhere for no reason, for example. yeah, so for example now I was able to take the turn without really slowing down at all, which is fantastic. But the problem is that I do not have such a good acceleration and top speed. That being said, this car also drives okay-ishly well off-road, so it doesn't lose quite that serious amounts of grip that easily on the off-roads. I'm maybe cutting the curves a little bit too early. So for example, you saw that I was leaving the asphalt for a second there, which isn't so good obviously. And that's also now one of the bestest parts about this game. I just am not used to it still for now. Driving on gravel. Driving on gravel is really fun in this game. Because it's just the perfect amount of driftiness. So driving on the gravel roads in this game, I can absolutely recommend it. Nice, thank you for that turn. Oh no, wait, that isn't... What? Okay, no, we have to go straight here. Okay. I got confused there because for some reason I saw that we needed to go towards the right, but no, everything's fine. So you see that the other cars are struggling here a bit, whereas I don't really have any problem except that I completely missed a turn. Yeah, you need to brake for this, otherwise it's just not possible at all. So this is also a 2-lap race. Basically, when creating these racetracks, you are free to choose how many laps you want, or if you want this to be a racetrack that just goes without connecting into a circle. No, don't push me away from the checkpoint. Thank you very much. So yeah, and the tree dodging aspect of barreling through the landscape is also very fun. See, now I could have rewound there because I did terrible on the turn and crashed into the wall, but I didn't. Because that was a mistake that was easy enough to recover from. Okay, up there is the checkpoint. Come on, come on. No! I think you missed the checkpoint, mister. Yeah. So if cars miss a checkpoint, they are automatically reset to a place in front of their checkpoint after some time. So that's why, even though he overtook us, he was reset because he missed one of those checkpoints in the forest. I am also a big fan generally of tracks that mix aspects of staying on the road and going off-road. So where you do both things, driving maybe on the highway and then you go off-road. Cause that's where you have to get some really interesting customization on your cars, or maybe find the perfect one. Have to do a lot of thinking in that regard to get the perfect car for driving mixed racetracks like that. Yeah. Wahoo, that turn I did not want to take like that. Also, I think we are pretty much completely leaving the enemies completely behind. Let's quickly look on the map. Yeah, so that's far behind. Okay, so let's continue. Oof, that is too much. Even though, to be honest, the arrows didn't really indicate that it was gonna be such a difficult turn. So I guess you cannot rely completely on the arrows as an indicator, you just have to also think for yourself, I guess. Come on, okay, that was embarrassing now. Alright, so for example in these sections you have a lot of driving on the road again. By the way, this car in particular is made by an Austrian manufacturer, KTM, one that usually makes motorcycles, but they have had a bit of a financial mess recently, where they are essentially bankrupt now. But this car, in this game at least, is a lot of fun to drive. Okay, we're gonna have to take that more direct, like so. No, that didn't work. Alright, trying. Whoops, that was not what I wanted. No, return there. Right. No, again not. Okay, we're gonna pinpoint this jump. Yeah, perfect, okay. Sometimes I guess it's the boring answer that you need to do, and that is slow down before you take the jump. Alright. How was I? Wait, where does? Oh, okay. I'm supposed to slow down here and go under the bridge. Right. Okay. They are gaining on me though, the enemies. That's the first lap. Okay, hold on for a second. Alright, I'm back. This is, I guess, quite a big racetrack, because, I mean, we only just finished the first lap, and we are only now coming back to the part where we have to do the hairpin turn. But now it's a lot more comfortable that all of the other drivers are not as close to me anymore, so they don't get in the way on the way back. By the way, we are in Edinburgh right now, and that hairpin turn is exactly at Edinburgh Castle. So that's a pretty prominent sight to see if you're ever sightseeing in Edinburgh. I probably could risk a lot more and take the curves at higher speeds right now, but I am in first place and I don't need to risk everything quite as much. So I can take my turns slow and comfortable. So aside from these roads and hills and this wind farm and that kind of stuff, this game also features the beach. For example, at Bamburgh Castle there is quite a nice off-roady beach section with a lot of nice jumps and stuff like that. So there's really a lot of varied terrain. You can also, by the way, drive on ice in the winter. There is a frozen lake in winter that you can drive on. It is though a source of concern for maps where you don't set the season, because it might then be drivable in winter but not in summer. So you can basically, for each racetrack you make, you can make events for it, and with the event you also decide in what season the event takes place. So whether it's in summer, winter, spring or autumn, and that makes quite a difference if your racetrack includes driving on the frozen lake, because you might not be able to in summer, because then the lake is thawed out and you can drive a certain amount of underwater, a certain bit, but not a lot. So basically when your car drowns, then it will just reset you. Whoops, that is a checkpoint missed. That was a strategic tree crash, because that way I was able to take the checkpoint. Right, now we go over here, take the turn and right across the dam. For example, you can also do some really crazy tracks where you drive down the dam into the water. And yeah. There's also a windmill that you can basically jump through. That's very fun. There are some really fun locations like that. Again, there are some people not taking the correct checkpoints in the forest, which kind of defeats the purpose of this and will reset you to the checkpoint. Okay. Now I need to pay a little bit more attention to my speed, that I'm driving fast enough, because you saw that the enemies were gaining on me again and we're getting quite close, so I can't afford to drive quite so slow. Except these are really sharp turns, and of course I need to brake for those. Yeah, this guy is just stuck. The EI for that guy is broken, he has no chance to win, because he's just stuck on repeat on that checkpoint, which rarely can also happen to players. There are some ways to avoid that kind of stuff though. It's rare that you encounter these kinds of bugs. I just know of these bugs because I am a weird map creator, track creator, who likes to drive through really weird places. And then I drive these tracks with my family and my brother gets stuck on an infinite respawning checkpoint, which is not what the game intends you to do, but it sometimes just happens as a bug. But again, these are things that you don't normally encounter. These are just things that happen when you, for example, have a track that overlaps itself. Then that kind of stuff can happen. I will say though, I like to make self-overlapping maps, and it doesn't happen that often either. Yeah. Okay. I think we are nearing the end of the race, if I'm not mistaken. I wanna take a quick look at the map. Okay, I don't have a massive distance, to be honest. This guy is the one that is just completely stuck. By the way, these numbers in these boxes here, they don't have anything to do with the rank that you have in the race. Those are the points that the players have accumulated in the game in total, as in the whole open world game. So for example, my score is 173 plus 1 star. 1 star is basically once you have made the entire way to 999 or something like that, it resets you to 0, but then you get a star. And so the fact that I have a star and this guy is on 1 means, for example, that theoretically, if this were the real person and not just AI driving, I would have had much more experience than them. And you get these points for doing basically anything: stunt challenges, drifting challenges, races. This game also has a few tie-ins with other franchises. For example, there's an entire Lego map where the surrounding elements like trees and flowers and plants and houses, and even some of the cars, if you want, are made out of Lego. There's also a Top Gear tie-in where you have to do typical Top Gear-esque challenges. There's also a Halo tie-in. I think it's one of the Halo races where you have to compete against an airplane or something like that. And there's also one of the vehicles, one of the cars from Halo in this game, if you want to choose that. Right, that was a perfect jump. I would appreciate it if I were on the road right now, but you can't always have it all, can you? Oh yeah, no, hold on, that isn't... I forgot that is the part where I have to drive under the bridge. Okay, so we're back in Edinburgh. And I will say this game is, in my opinion, very beautifully made. I like the environment. It looks very good, especially like, for example, in spring you have these purple and pink flowers all around, and to be honest, the winter looks very good as well. Oh yeah, here for example you see the person who is currently in 9th place is driving a Lego car, for example. So let's see, maybe I can just for fun pick a Lego car for my next race. Alright, let's go forward. Over here to this light blue circuit event right here. Oops, it's there. Play solo. Let's see if I have any custom events over here. Okay, so I assume the cornered event is gonna have a lot of sharp corners, so we're gonna do that, and let's see what kind of stuff we can pick. Is the Lego stuff in here as well? I don't think so. Okay. Let's filter to my favorites. Okay. Oh, this is also one of my favorite cars. I have made this hazard stripe kind of design myself of this McLaren. That's also a good car. These are just basically for fun. These are the mini cars by P. They don't drive particularly well and you just play them for fun. The three-wheeler by Morgan isn't that bad, to be honest. But we're gonna go with this one. This is one of my favorites. I mean, they are all one of my favorites technically. Literally by definition of the favorite tag. But this is one of my all-time favorites. Alright, so this is a 3-lap race. You see that this one is immediately not quite as forgiving as the crossbow that we were just driving. Yes, that golden car that we were driving is called Crossbow. But this is still a very nice drivable car. Okay, that was just me now, but I still got the checkpoint. Alright. Okay, that was smooth. I didn't really have to brake much at all for that. So that's amazing. I don't like how far behind I'm getting though. I'm not really making many mistakes per se. It's just that the AI is pretty good at this race, it seems. So you will notice maybe that the AI is better at some races than others. For example, reasons of having to maneuver between tight spaces, the AI is Not so good at maneuvering around tight spaces, but quite okay at normal racing. So anything that goes through the forest is has a chance of giving you an advantage against the AI. And then there are some specific spaces where there's, for example, a small gap between houses or something like that that you can drive through technically. AI struggles with those in particular. So for example, there is some kind of mountain village stuff in this game, and AI will really struggle at those locations if you drive between the houses. Yeah. I am not gaining much of a position here. This is bothersome, I guess. I mean, I won the last two races, but this one, quite tragically, I will be nowhere near winning at all. Ah, that was avoidable. Right. I was losing grip there for a second before making the turn, which was fatal for the turn. It's definitely not. You're not overtaking me, thank you. Come on, no, 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 absolutely not. No. I will not be pushed around like that, and I will take this corner better. Come on. Now, okay, I need more time to brake. It looked deceitfully easy to take the turn, but it was not. Yeah, that's much better. Come on. Really makes you wonder why I called mid-map cornered. Okay, I think I'm getting a little bit closer to the people in front. But it's not quite enough. This is going well now. Okay, no, that is way too fast. I suspected as much, but I still wanted to try. Okay. Even that's not good enough. Come on, I had you. I'm being too greedy here. Seeing all these people in front of me makes me want to basically floor it, which is really bad if you want to take curves. Right, bye. Nice, nice, perfect. That was some A-game shit right there. Fortunately, I'm still only in 8th, but you know what, I will not even attempt to take that curve smoothly. It's much better to just straight crash into the corner there. Which is not always the case for this game, not at all. You really need to brake in this game and take care. This is not a Mario Kart. And that was a cheeky cut there. Right, slow. We know that this one needs to be taken very slowly. This one too. And Then we can go fast again. Right. 7th, I will take, considering that I was behind so much for so much of the race. Okay, Cornball Wall is a pretty funny name. Alright, we're doing something different now. We're gonna do something more off-roady. So this game also allows you to have a home, basically your home, garage and living space, I guess. Except some of them are not really actually viable living spaces. So for example, one of your homes can be, where is it? There, Edinburgh Castle. You can own Edinburgh Castle. That's probably not something you can do in real life, except for very few specific people. And my home happens to be Bamborough Castle, and there I made a lot of very nice tracks, some of which include these bumpy pieces along the beach that I was talking about earlier. So we're gonna navigate there. Gonna set the sat-nav to there, and we're gonna go.
Turn around when it is safe
wants
to
me
do
to
so.
turn around. So now you can bask in the glory of what is Anna. Anna's glorious GPS advice. So Anna ain't perfect, but you know, it's good enough if you want to switch your brain off and just follow a path to your next destination. It's also, you know what, we're just gonna basically do the complete opposite now. Instead of following the road and following Anna, we're gonna go off-road. And we're gonna barrel straight through the landscape here. Also, we're gonna take this jump here for fun.
In 400 meters,
There are
turn
other
sharp right.
jumps like that, but that's one of the good ones.
In 400
So
meters,
if you
turn left.
drive like this,
In
you
100
have
meters,
need of a
turn
skill
right.
that I call
400
tree
meters,
dodging.
Turn left.
And now also take note that there are some houses that you
In
cannot
200
just drive
meters,
through, so
turn
now we
right.
have to
Turn
go
right.
back to following the road. Alright, and we're basically home. So technically my home is that castle right over there. That's where my garage is. But this is right there as well. Winter Jumpnerland. Jumpnerland. Okay, that is a typo. I probably meant to call it Winter Jumperland. Anything goes. So let's take a Lego car for this one. Usually you wanna actually take something more off-roady, but I don't care. We are gonna use a Lego Ferrari right now. So these are Lego cars from the Speed Champions theme, the earlier ones. I think the sets that Speed Champions makes now are... Oops, that was corner to... Let's just restart that completely. The Speed Champion sets that Lego makes now are bigger, I think. So on a slightly larger scale. Right. Now let's focus on the turn. No, you don't push me around, thank you very much. Alright. As you can see, being in the crowd can sometimes be very wild. So now we're driving a little bit more off-roady. Slightly less asphalt based, and you need to pay attention to such things as how your vehicle is gonna land. So you gotta take the jumps, the hills with intent, essentially. Make sure that you do not land sideways. You have to plan ahead for that kind of stuff. Which is sometimes easier said than done. And now, I would have dodged those trees, but I ran into the car, I guess. But the other car didn't manage to dodge that tree, so... Wow, okay, there was one of those racing simulation phenomena. I suddenly had better grip on the asphalt, and that's why I had a sudden turn to the left, which is very realistic. You would just not think about those kind of details in a racing game, is the thing. But it really makes a difference if the left side of your car is on dirt and the right side of your car is on asphalt. That makes a huge difference. That landing was not good. I am losing a lot of time here. No, that is not good. Do that again, please. Yeah, like so. So as you can see, you can also drive through rivers. So the kind of terrain that you can drive through in this game is just really fun to me. I like sending sports cars through places that they are obviously not meant to be in, and tuning them in such a way that they still perform well under these conditions. So for example, I think I give a lot of supercars like Lamborghinis and stuff like that rally tires. No, not rally tires, they're called off-road tires, which is something that everyone would shake their head at, but it makes these supercars a lot better at off-roading. And you can also give them better suspensions for off-roading and stuff like that. You can just tune a supercar to make it more off-roady in this game, and I think that's pretty fun. Because it's counterintuitive, but it makes pretty good cars. Oops. No, okay. I don't have time for standing around for a long time. So if I can't recover from that, it's time for a rewind. And also this is not a lap race, this is just you drive across it one time. And instead of a lap count, it shows you a percentage of how much of the track you have completed. So yeah, pretty good. Okay, let's switch it up yet again. Because if we go back to Bambara, we are now a little bit away from there. But if we go to this starting point, I think I have an event there that is that I call the Large Hadron Collider, which is again a track that I made on my own, and it basically spends most of its time on the highway on a track as straight as you can basically get it in this game. So that's really the racetrack for going super fast. So we're gonna go and do that. Yeah, it will go through tunnels like this, and you can see that you can get quite some speed up here. This is in kmh, but I can assure you 370 is a lot. That is extremely fast.
In 400 meters, turn left.
Oops, that is a bit too tight.
Turn left.
Ah. So generally I hope you can see that I'm not quite terrible at this game, but as usual my brother is way better.
Meters, turn sharp right.
Which is just the way my life goes.
Turn sharp right.
Turn
200
sharp
meters.
right.
Turn sharp left. Turn sharp left. In
So
400
I
meters,
employed the
turn right.
handbrake for that. The what's it called in English?
Turn
I
right.
don't know.
You have arrived at your destination.
And nice that it is so. Custom events. Narrow asphalt is a good track. Hyperspeed highway circuit. 4 laps. Well, let's go for it. And we're gonna quickly filter for my favorites again. So the Bugatti is definitely a choice that I could take. The Koenigsegg ain't bad. And this one is also one of my favorites. It doesn't have quite the best top speed though. I think that the Bugatti is better in terms of top speed. So let's go for that. Let's see if I can drive this thing at all. It is definitely tuned, so I did customize it to my needs, but that doesn't mean that I know how to drive it now. Well, we'll see. So we're just basically now on the part where we are leading up to the highway, and then once we're on the highway, that's where this will really be what it's all about. That is a very tight corner here, but the even tighter corner is coming straight up ahead. Yeah, that is, by the way, exactly the racetrack that I called the Large Hadron Collider. That is exactly it. I'm not being very, well, I want to say lucky. I just about got that checkpoint with my butt. So now it's basically just driving straight ahead and going as fast as you can. Even on these curves you have a lot of... Basically they're very forgiving as far as speed is concerned. Alright, now we had to brake for a short bit there, from 400 to 300 km/h. So from super fast to really fucking fast still. And now we really have to brake, cause there's a checkpoint that I need. Nice, and I got it in the weirdest way possible. Which is the best way. Whoops, that is a tree. The thing about trees is, some trees don't matter when you collide into them, and some do. Some you just run through, and some will stop you dead in the tracks. So you gotta kind of know by heart which trees are the good trees and which trees are the bad trees. Right, and now we're done with the highway bit. And even though we took care of it in a short time, I assure you it is a long track. It's just at that part very straight, so you can drive very fast. Alright, so this is one of those corners that typically fuck me up on this racetrack, but this time I was careful. And I went slow enough. What am I doing? Whoops. Hello, hi. We're playing Forza today, and I made a catastrophic mistake just now. We're barreling through this track at extremely high speeds. I assume in the UK you are using miles per hour as a speed unit instead of kmh, which is kilometers per hour. But I assure you that I'm going fast. So how's it going today? Whoops, I was looking at chat instead of the road. Don't text and drive, kids. Always keep your eyes on the road. So yeah, how's it going? Hold on, okay, I want to read chat. I actually don't know, I need to learn to drive. Nice. Oh, nice. Is Halloween a big thing in the UK? Because I know that it is a big thing in the US. and it's really not a big thing in Austria here. But I wonder how it is in the UK, because frankly I have no clue. I assume over here we will have some few kids probably trick-or-treating, but not many. Alright. It's not a huge thing, okay. Well, same here. I mean, I like any purpose for celebrating. So having Halloween as a motivation for celebration is nice. But usually, actually, in Austria we also have, I mean, it's actually an international day, but in Austria we also care about Savings Day, I think it's called. Weltspartag, World Savings Day, which is on the same day as Halloween. It's just the day that the banks basically teach you about saving money. Oh, the spookiness is fun about Halloween. I just don't care much about the holiday per se, but it's nice that people get together and celebrate. I'm doing terribly here. Yeah, like a day basically about saving money. So like savings accounts and stuff like that. In the earlier days you used to get like special gifts from your bank and stuff like that. But it isn't as important anymore nowadays either. It kind of lost in notoriousness. Okay. So you see those red arrows. Red arrows mean I really should brake here. And I didn't, which is also why I completely flew out of that curve. But luckily Forza has that rewind feature. You can get away with ignoring some of the red arrows, but not all of them. You have to heed the advice of some of them. So yeah, this is a racetrack that I play a lot with my family on, with my brother and my cousin. Oops, I forgot to brake. Well, actually, this is going not so terribly. Okay, it's actually going terribly. No, don't overtake me. That's rude. It is considered rude in my culture to overtake me. Come on. Don't be good now. Be nice enemies and let me pass. Come on, I was first for so long and now so late into the race. Stop it! You stop that right now. No, 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 no. No. I mean, I'm gonna zoom past them in the tunnels anyway. But it's annoying that I am currently losing a lot of... Okay, I'm last now. What the fuck? I was leading the race the entire time and now I get last place. Come on. Absolutely impossible. Go away, go away. Yes, thank you, goodbye. That's the one problem about racing games, is you cannot read chat at the same time. now is where we need to brake. A lot, actually. Still only in 5th. I couldn't get them all. Alright. Good enough. Whoops, I forgot to steer. No worries. You're fine. Actually, I'll tell you, today chat has been pretty lonely today so far. No one's entered the chat apart from you. So I appreciate it very much. Thank you for joining. That was bad. I wouldn't have minded drifting a little bit off-road if I hit the checkpoint, but I am slightly missing it. Okay, come on, I can do this, I can do this. Yes, yes I did it. I hit the checkpoint, but I'm being foolish here. Stop being foolish. Yes, take that checkpoint and the next one also, please. Thank you. So, I hope watching a racing game is also enjoyable. I know it's something that I never did on stream so far, but I do occasionally enjoy my racing games every now and then, especially Forza and Trackmania. I've spent a lot of time on those games. You wouldn't believe it right now that I spent a lot of time on this game because I'm fucking up so much. But I swear. Nice, that is much better than last lap. Yeah, much better. Okay, then I don't have to worry, that's nice. If it's satisfying to watch. I mean, it would probably be a lot of less satisfying if I were to crash into trees and walls the whole time. So I'm glad I'm not doing that. Also, may I just add, okay, I'm in real life not much of a car person. In real life I much prefer public transit if possible. But this video game has taught me that cars can be actually really fucking beautiful. Like as a object of aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like you look at a Bugatti car and it kind of just looks nice. Oh yeah, there's also a tie-in I forgot to mention earlier with Cyberpunk 2077 or what it's called. Because the one car from Cyberpunk is drivable in this game. And it actually drives quite nicely. Not the fastest, but it's still pretty fast. I might show that off next if I can. Alright. Right. But first we gotta focus on finishing this one. Whoops. I constantly, every time at this curve is when I look at chat. Where I'm like, huh. And then I'm suddenly noticing, wait, over that hill is a curve. I cannot look at chat now. So yeah, in real life I'm not much of a car person, but as much as aesthetics are concerned, I love cars. And especially also, I know it's not a car, but I love Vespa scooters. Those also are aesthetically really nice. I will hold on. Pause. Hold on. Give me a second. Alright, moving on. Yeah, sorry for that. I was basically invited by my brother that he would join my game and we could race against each other. And that would have been basically my stream plan anyway, but the game today doesn't allow it for some reason. Stop that! Okay, hold on. Can my car please drive straight? What is that zigzag bullshit first of all? Okay, let's move back to a time and space where I'm straight on the road. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, that's not okay actually. When I said that's okay, I meant that's not okay. Let's do something more dressed. Okay, that's also not working. Okay, I guess I will have to brake. I guess I will have to take the turn slowly. So no, I unfortunately cannot be joined by my brother because fuck this turn. Because the internet mode of this game for some reason doesn't work right now. So are we good now? Do we have all of the malfunctioning out of the system? Good. Good. Whoops. I just took a right turn there. That was completely my mistake. I will actually own that mistake. Yeah. And yeah, I try to not use the rewind that much, but sometimes it's just frustrating. Woof! Whoops, that was unnecessary. That was especially unnecessary. Okay, third place is okay. I take it. That was disastrously embarrassing of a performance of mine. Especially the end. Whatever that was. Alright, I wanted to show you the Cyberpunk car. The Cyberpunk car. I, by the way, started playing Cyberpunk privately on my own time. But I made the mistake of starting it on the Steam Deck, which is a nice console, don't get me wrong, I love the Steam Deck, it's a wonderful device, but the problem is it has controller controls. And the thing is, what I didn't anticipate is that Cyberpunk 2077 is a shooter. Now, you might think that's possible to play. But no, I cannot play shooters on console, on controllers for the life of me, if my life depended on it. It's just completely impossible for me to correctly aim at anything. Alright, since we're already here in Bambara at my nice home place, let's go in there to change cars. That's my home and the house. Yeah, I like the game so far. I didn't play far into it. Basically, I got to the combat tutorial and that's where I started failing. Because that's where it becomes a shooter. So I stopped playing at the combat tutorial. I do have to finish it on the PC at some point. But turns out, no, that's not a game that I will play on my Steam Deck anymore. I completely forgot what the car is called though. I think it was something late in the alphabet. I will just see if I can spot it. Oh yeah, the Reliant Robin is a fun car. basically the car that in Top Gear is infamous for tipping over. I made mine into a pizza delivery reliant, though I did just download this from the available designs, so I didn't design it myself. Oh yeah, true, that's it, the Quadra V-Tech, that's the car from Cyberpunk. And I have it twice, but this one is the one that I use. And a funny thing you can do in Forza is also drive in first person. So usually you drive in third person, and that goes very well. That's the easiest to do. It's easiest to drive in third person, but you can also switch the camera. Let me figure out what button that is again. Hold on, that's not it. That's the rewind button. Sorry, wrong one. Ah, there it is. And inside the Cyberpunk car we also have all of the cyberpunky details. So you have stuff that looks really cyberpunky. I love it. You see these dials and controls all in this typically cyberpunky style. I love it. But yeah, let's actually try to play a race in first person mode. Mind you, I will suck at it completely because I'm out of practice at doing this. But it's fun to do. Honestly, it's just so much fun. Oh yeah, there's a race start right here. Let's use that one. Solo, custom events. Oh no, let's actually, I know which race we're gonna drive. Up at the front there. Up at the front here we have the narrow asphalt race. That is a really good one. I hope modern supercars, I hope I can yes, I can take this one. Perfect. Because some races have restrictions and you cannot use every car for every race. So, okay, I just had to adjust OBS for a second. But let's go. This is also a small lap race track that I really like. It is taking you on some really narrow asphalt roads. Oh yeah, by the way, something that I also have to point out is just the graphics are really good in this game. Even though it is already a little bit older now. Okay, I didn't miss the checkpoint, I was rammed away from it. Alright, let's try that again. Right. Right, that's much better. But yeah, the graphics in this game are astounding, I find. I'm playing this on a 4K monitor right now, so I think that is pretty good. Let me through. No. To be fair, I will be happy if I can even finish this race. If they don't cancel it before I enter the finish line. I will also say this is probably not the best car for the race. Yeah, the rest are just completely far away from me now. I have such a hard time on these turns. come on, do a turn, do some braking, please. Car, come on car, do your job. No, don't turn sideways, drive. No, that is not where I want you to drive. Come on. So, as you can see, I struggle a little bit in first person mode also. The thing is, you don't see quite as well where your car is on the one hand, and on the other you have a worse perspective. You don't quite see the arrows as you should, because they get hidden behind. Okay, hold on, SoundCloud is being stupid for a second. Right, okay, let's continue. So yeah, the arrows sometimes get hidden behind the road essentially, which doesn't happen as much if you drive in third person mode. So just as an experiment, we will try driving this track in third person mode again afterwards. Because to be fair, third person mode is just easier. Though it is embarrassing, like the first two races I came first place immediately. And now I'm 12th, which is just disgusting. Okay, come on, brake. You are expected to have some semblance of braking capabilities, car. That was nice. That was a nice drift. Oh yeah, up there at the top, by the way, you do see my speed in miles per hour, I think. In case you were curious. Okay, come on. Do some braking. It is not impossible. I know you have brakes. Right. Yes, brake. Slow and steady wins the race. Well, it doesn't. It clearly doesn't. Oh yeah, another thing I will point out is measurably my performance in this game gets worse over time. So the longer I play, the more I suck. That's just factual. And we have a spam bot in chat. Love to see it. Come on. Now I don't have a rewind anymore because the first person already finished. So I have to wait out the checkpoint reset timers and such. Okay, that was intentional, mind you. I thought that the finish line was closer than it actually was. Alright, let's try this again. Yes, that was disgusting. I know. Don't even talk to me about this. Alright. So yeah, there are various camera perspectives that you can take in this game, but this one's the easiest to do. So let's try the exact same race with the exact same car again, but this time in third person mode. Yes, same car please. Honestly, I still don't understand how Twitch doesn't have these chatbots under control. How is it possible that every time I get basically the same chatbot going, "Ah, buy viewers here"? Like, I do have auto modding on, so it should take care of that, honestly. That was stupid. Alright, continue, and then brake like a normal person. Alright. Come on, okay, I can do this. These guys won't stop pushing me around. How am I suddenly in 10th? Come on. And now the guys are just darting off. And for some reason it takes an extra turn that I didn't tell it to do. Right. No, actually, hold on. Actually, I will own up to my mistake now. We will not rewind here. Come on, not last again. This car does slide far too much. It really doesn't have any grip. It veers sideways immediately and then it doesn't brake enough either. It's just a nice looking car, but not a good one. Not one that wins you races. Okay, no, we own up to our mistakes. We don't rewind. I am at this tree now. Good, okay, fine. How am I not turning? How is this my turn radius? Come on, I was not on the gas at all. Yeah, now it's suddenly better. I don't know. Alright. No, it just doesn't break enough. I broke basically the whole time and it just didn't do anything. Just didn't. Grumble. No, I didn't want to stay on the road anyways. Yeah, that was that position that I wanted, 12th. I basically wanted to watch this race from behind. I didn't want to participate or anything. How does it not break? I don't understand it. All of my other cars, you can basically ignore the red arrows to some extent. To this one, you have to add some redness on top of the arrows. And somebody's already in the finish line. Come on. I can only drive so slowly because otherwise it won't turn enough. Are you seeing this? Again, this car looks really nice, but goddamn is it shit. Race completed. Well, yeah. Duh. Sure, you can like the design, I don't mind. I mean, I can try to do some fixing of this problem. We can go back home and enter the garage and modify things and see how that goes. Enter the house. Alright, have a nice dinner. I still don't know how to properly say Mahlzeit in English. But enjoy your meal, essentially, is what it means. Yeah, upgrades and tuning. That's where we want to go. Yes, quite clearly. Okay, we're gonna make our own Quadra. You're gonna take the ready tire compound. We're gonna separate the wheels a large amount. Then let's see about all this kind of stuff. So this is stock. Let's add those things. Okay, also, hold on. No, we wanna keep it an all-wheel drive for sure. We are definitely gonna apply better brakes. To be honest, either of these will do. Let's take these. I'm gonna take rear anti-roll bars, but not front ones. Then let's up the power. See how that goes. This just reduces the weight, I guess. Yeah, let's do it. Alright. That will do. Yes, we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna take a look, because I think let's go to Quadra again. Hold on, LMNOP QRS. Okay, so this one is S2. 982. Did I 985? Okay, so I did improve it a little bit, because I think we're on the same score. Okay, let's try this out. Okay, the curve radius is a bit large, but it doesn't drift so much immediately. It actually handles quite well. I don't want to do the same race for the third time now though. So we're gonna do something else. I'm gonna try to use this car again though. So we're gonna try this race start here. Solo, custom events, east to west dirt sprint. Okay, it does not allow me to pick the same car. Well, okay, let's do this nonetheless then. This includes a few fun cars. Anyway, I do enjoy driving with these rally car, not rally cars, with these buggies. Those are quite nice to drive. So, of course, they don't go as fast, but they are still pretty fun to drive. You can basically take them over all of the dirt, all of the hills. I just hope that this is somewhat of an off-roady race, because otherwise it won't pay off that we take off-roady cars. Yeah, no, this looks perfectly off-roady actually. Whoops. No. Jumps are dangerous in this game. You have to really pay attention to take the jumps head on so that you don't turn sideways in the midst of it. So yeah, this is exactly as off-roady as I want it to be. And you'll notice we're not going as fast, we're only going like 170 right now, or 180. But it's still fun just navigating this rough landscape. Whoops, that was too much speed. Okay. Still too much speed. Got it this time though. Nice. Good jump. So these particular spaces where there are dirt mounds and bridges and jumping platforms and sloped, sideways sloped race tracks. Those are just really fun to drive off-road. So yeah, all in all, Forza Horizon 4 is a really solid and fun game. And it's fun to play together. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same thing about Forza Horizon 5, because it doesn't have the game mode that is most important to me, which is the private adventures. Whoops, missed the checkpoint. Doing well so far. See, that's the thing about Forza. Last race I was 12th with no chance of beating anyone. Now I'm first and way far ahead of everyone else. Oh, I think this racetrack is taking us through the windmill, which is fun, because the windmill is a fun jump. Oh, hold on. Okay. So this is... It doesn't force you through the windmill, but you can take it. And therefore we're gonna. Because again, jumping through the windmill... hold on, okay, I need to take a further starting distance. Okay, hold on, we can do this. Yes. But I failed to jump because I was too slow. God damn it. That wasn't very spectacular then. We can do something about that though. We can next time take a race that is intentionally taking us through the windmill. I just have to find one. Okay, the others have made some headway and are getting closer. Okay, I need to get slower here. Okay, I need to get even slower before that. So I can't make a big jump here, I guess. I have to sort of slow down like this now. Then we can take this curve. And you are taking over. That is not nice. Nice, it missed the checkpoint. So I'm first again. Come on, don't slide so much. Nice, I had to completely counter-steer that. This is tricky. Alright, now we are having a little bit of water time. And the fun thing is I actually tuned this car precisely to be good in water. That is my good in water car. So that is some short part where I have an advantage. Alright. Nice! And I won this one. You love to see it. Takes the others quite a long time to finish. Alright, so now it's night time. I don't particularly like night time. The problem with nighttime is that it gets more difficult to see, which, yeah, it just makes things more difficult, because your reaction time is a lot impacted by that. Let's do one last race today. Let's see, custom events. Moving to the city. Oh yeah, let's... the joke here is that you move from the village to the city, so obviously you need to get some kind of transport vehicle, so that's why I only allowed things that transport stuff, like trucks, or things that look like trucks, or like pickup trucks, stuff like that, delivery vans, those kinds of things. So this is gonna be quite the funny selection of cars that we're gonna have. So for the last race of the day, why don't we take the Unimog? And the others will probably also take some kind of truck or whatever. Moving to the city. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, we got an Iron Knight, for example. Oh, we got a varied cast here. Yeah, we got some vans, some trucks. We are moving to the city. And I love that this game allows you to do stuff like that. Just stupid stuff that you just do for the memes as well. It's not just a fast-paced racing game, it can be, but it's also a funny driving simulator. A driving racing simulator. So again, you will notice that we are not being... I mean, for a real life vehicle, sure, we are being very fast actually. And I need to get used to this car urgently. But in comparison to the proper race cars that we have, we are going no speed at all essentially. Mind you that driving with a slow vehicle isn't necessarily easier. It's just different. Okay. I have to consider the turning radius. It's not a race car. It does take a long time to turn. Nice, we took that curve very nicely. Yeah, this is going somewhere now. Unfortunately, we do have quite... Okay, that guy just didn't brake there. How? What are you doing? It just doesn't brake in time. It just won't do it. Okay, I need to rewind further. I basically need to take this curve at I think like, I don't know, 100. To be fair, in real life you wouldn't even drive the 200 km/h anywhere in Austria. The maximum speed that you can drive on a highway in Austria is 130 km/h. And that's fast. Like if you sit in a car and you're like driving for real, that feels definitely very fast already. In a racing game, that's nothing. I don't think we're gonna beat many more other races in front of us, although we are getting closer now. I am gaining on those. I am overtaking them. Nice. Turns out I'm actually third. Come on, do it. Yes, nice, I'm second. I don't know what the other car did there. probably fucked up the checkpoint or something like that. Okay, that was a mistake again. I need to stop rewinding. Okay. Next time we play this. No rewinds. Okay, now I could go the long way. Yeah, I'm gonna go the long way. I could just shortcut to the left of the forest, but I don't know how fast my vehicle would be on dirt and grass. So we're taking the long way on asphalt. I also made a race event that's basically the same joke again, but instead of moving you are going to take a vacation. So the cars that you can choose from are typical family cars, like just typical cars that you could buy, like minivans, saloons, such things. Clean racing. 100 points for clean racing. And we're in Edinburgh. Hold on, let me read your chat question. Yes, it is usually possible to play online in Forza Horizon 4. Except it just doesn't work for me right now. I don't know, maybe they... Could be that they stopped the servers already or something like that. That would be very bad if they did. Then it means no. But otherwise you usually can play online. I played online with my family a lot, so with my cousin and my brother. And Forza Horizon 4 especially has a really fun game mode for that. So hold on, I don't... yeah, here you see this button here, private adventure. Right now I can't do it because I'm not online and such stuff. So if you get together a bunch of friends, play private adventures. Those are the most fun. I mean, the whole game is fun, but the most fun is private adventures. Is just my hint to you. But you need friends for that. You can also probably play adventures with random people using quick play adventure. I never did that. Yeah. Oh, if the auction house is running, then probably the servers are running as well. Then yeah, you should be able to play online. I don't know why I'm not able to today. Alright, let's continue this race. And by the way, hi and welcome. Hi and welcome to chat. Hope you have a fun time here. As I am Grrr! No. I am fine making mistakes, that's not a problem, but not letting everyone take me over then in the end. We are not doing this, we are not doing this. We are not doing this. I swear, next time we play this, I play without rewind, but I'm not gonna just crash into a church and let everybody overtake me. No thank you, I will stay second. Thank you very much. And first place has given up, so I will even become first. Because the first place had a navigation error with a corner there. Alright, well, as promised, that was gonna be the last race for today. So, we're gonna pack it up now. But thank you for joining, everyone. Thank you for everyone who was here. It was a short stream today, but I think still a fun one. So, I'm just gonna take a quick look if and which person we could be raiding. Let's see. Yeah, Let's see who's there to raid. Alright. Why not? Well, goodbye, everyone.